actually had a really hard time coming up with the TBR for this month. I don't really know why. I think it's because I was very, very torn between wanting to read books that had orange on the cover and wanting to read spooky books, and or just wanting to read things that I knew that I've just been dying to read for a long time. So I mixed all of those things together to create a TBR for you guys. So here is what I want to read in the month of October. Okay, the first book on the list mixes the October-y cover with a Spooktober-esque choice, and that is Far, Far Away. This book, not only does the cover look like Hocus Pocus, I don't know, I assume that everyone has seen that movie, but maybe you haven't. If you haven't, it is a cliched classic. I would highly recommend it. But it reminds me a lot of that. And as far as I can tell, it's kind of about this boy who hears voices. So I'm not really sure. I don't want to know much more about it, but I've been dying to read this since last October. I actually got this last October, and I never got around to it, so I really, really, really want to get to it this month. Next, we have another book that mixes the October-esque cover with a spooky plotline, and that is The Gates by John Connolly. So, as you can see, this cover is very, very October. Very. All the orange, all the red, all the black. Also, these gates that you're seeing here are the gates to hell. So this is pretty much the epitome of an excellent October spooky choice. As far as I can tell, this is about a group of friends who accidentally open the gates of hell. And literally all hell breaks loose. I'm really excited to get into this. I've heard really, really good things about John Connolly's writing. I've never read anything by him before, so I really want to try this one this month because it seems like it would be a perfect pick for October. Next, we have a book that may or may not be spooky. I'm not exactly sure. The cover is kind of eerie, but it's a book that I definitely should have read by now, and I'm actually kind of embarrassed that I haven't, and that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I have had this book for a long time. I've actually wanted to read this series since the very, very first book came out, but I've just never gotten around to it. I don't really know why. I think maybe it's because there's a lot of hype around it and I'm worried that I'm going to read it and dislike it, or I'm worried that I'm going to go into it with too many expectations. However, I have heard really, really good things and I really, really want to try it, and it's been a long time since I've read a fantasy YA that I really, really liked, so I want to try to dive into this one. Okay, so those are all of the novels that I want to try to read in the month of October. Whether I read any or all of those, I guess we'll see it in my wrap-up at the end of the month. Other than that, I have some graphic novels and comic issues that I really want to get to this month. The first being Shudder Volume 1. I don't know much about this. The girls at Landfall Freight really, really like this series. I've seen a few pictures of this series on their Instagram, and I honestly generally really, really trust their recommendations of things. I most of the time like things that they like, and I really, really like the art. It looks kind of interesting, and even look at these guys in the back. I'm very intrigued to see what this is about, and I think it involves time travel. I could totally be wrong about that, but I have a feeling that it does, and also just I really wanted to get to this month. Next, we have a graphic novel that definitely falls under the horror category, and that is Lock and Key Volume 3. I have wanted to read this for a long time now. It's been on a lot of my TBRs, and somehow I just never get to it. I don't know why, because I loved Volume 1 and 2. It could be because I don't own Volume 4, 5, or 6 yet. Maybe I'm just prolonging reading this subconsciously until I know I can read the rest. But this is definitely a thriller/horror graphic. I can't really explain much of it to you without ruining anything, but what I can say is that the series follows a family who moves into a house that has a bunch of doors that are locked, and the keys are kind of missing. But when you find the keys, you realize that they don't actually just unlock doors, they unlock pieces of your brain. That's a good way to describe it, I guess. It's really, really cool, really different. It's written by Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son, who also wrote Horns, and I really like it. It's very it makes you think, and it's thrillery, and there is some gore, but I'm not normally a horror fan, and I actually love this because there's an excellent plot line. And next I have some comic issues that I want to try to get to this month. First being Morning Glories, issue 48. Okay, you guys know how much I love Morning Glories. It's basically an obsession. I love it so much. I actually just got this today. I'll likely finish this before this video even goes up, actually. Also, this is a thriller, so I guess it does fall under the category of Spooktober. And last but not least, we have The Wicked and the Divine, issue 13 and issue 14. I actually just obtained issue 14, and now I'm going to binge read both of them. I am really, really liking this series. It's lots of twists and turns, lots of stuff that I don't really understand what's happening, but I want to understand what's happening, and I really, really like the mixture of like a modern day setting with like this old school idea of gods and what it means to be a god and how it can actually be really, really difficult to be a god, and I'm really excited to see where the rest of this series is headed. I'm not exactly loving the fact that the artist is changing every issue now. I'm not really sure if that's actually going to make it less enjoyable for readers or more enjoyable. I didn't necessarily love some of the artists in the last 2 issues of Wicked and the Divine, but we will see. We'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know via Instagram/Twitter what I'm thinking about these 2 artists. Okay, so that is my October TBR. What are you guys planning on reading in the month of October? Make sure to comment down below and let me know. And if you are a YouTuber or a blogger, make sure to link your video or blog post with your October TBR down below so that I can check it out and follow you guys. And other than that, if you guys have read or want to read any of these, be sure to always let me know. And otherwise, I will see you guys soon with another video. Happy reading. Bye!